a lot of discussion around Eldridge Cleaver, who was Minister of Information for the Black Panthers in the 1960s. He had been in prison, and in prison he had learned and taught one of the prisoners the utopia, the ideal of communism, that everybody is equal. And so when he got out of prison, he had completely in his mindset to destroy America's economic system and really try to get in place in American communism so that everybody could be equal. And of course they pushed it, and they caused riots, and there was a lot of violence involved in that. But it backfired because the Black community began to realize that you say you're trying to help us get out of this, but you're destroying our houses, you're blowing up our buildings, you're setting our houses on fire and our cars, and we're getting killed, and we're not getting any better. There's nothing happening. It's not getting better. And eventually, he fled America. And he said, I'm going to go where there's communism because I know that it's going to be equal. And he went to Cuba. And he found that there was poverty everywhere, and people were starving, and it was worse than it was in America. And so they said, well, maybe this isn't real communism, so I'm going to go to Russia, I'm going to go to the USSR. And he went to several different communist countries, and even ended up in North Korea, and ended up in a camp there that was teaching communism. And the number one thing said that they were taught to do was, first of all, you enter a room, go somewhere, look for the American flag. And the first thing to do is try to get those down. Because if you quit reminding people of their liberty, quit reminding people of their great country, that symbol, then you can tear them down. And I was watching somebody recount traveling with Eldridge Cleaver as he was doing community service after he came back to America. And he was trying to teach other Black youth that communism is not the way, violence is not the way. And he said the first thing he would do when he'd walk into a classroom to talk to students was look for the American flag, and if it wasn't there, make them go find one. And because that was the symbol, and that was the thing that was going to remind you daily. I love it. That's where I think I've told some of you this, but I was actually at a gun store where Jason's Deli was, Laura, and I was standing there, my husband was looking at some stuff, and I was holding my daughter, and she's 4. And I was holding her, and we were just kind of looking around, and she saw a big American flag. And she said, Mom, you did this. I said, that's right. You know what she said? And she said, the pledge. And I was like, whoa! I didn't know she was doing that. She's in daycare. They say it every morning. And it was amazing to me. I like to give shit to you. It was so sweet. Because so many of our kids today in high school have anymore. We still did it. I remember us at homeroom, we said the pledge. They have homeroom, they just, it's the first class, and they just get down to business. And so I think that's so important, that daily reminder, especially as youth. So I actually convinced my daughter's daycare to do a 4th of July program. So you do Christmas, and you do Thanksgiving, you have parents come and they sing songs. So why don't you do a patriotic one on July 4th? Which now they're mad at me because I'm actually going to be at Disney World, so she won't be there to do it. But so you're making us do this thing, you're not going to be here. So we do it on July 5th, and we'll be here. But my intent, just like Ernest Coleman was trying to get them to teach that, on Constitution Day, teach it. But if they can learn those songs as they're little, they'll never forget them. They will always remember those songs, and they'll always have that in them. So back to Eldridge Cleaver. After about 8 years of traveling around, he asked to return to the a certain time. Most of the things that he was, that he had fled for, the statute of limitations had actually run out. So he had ended up with like 300 hours of community service that he had to do. And so that's when he started going around and trying to convert some of the youth out of that mindset that America is horrible, that communism is better. And so in his time traveling, he actually had some children. He said at that point, when he was looking at his children and looking at how they were designed, and that, you know, each one at the right time grew teeth, learned to talk. So there's no way that this is just by chance. There has to be some grand design, which means there has to be a creator. And, you know, in communism, there is no God. It's all by chance. That's why everybody is equal. And so he did have that transformation. And he then went around the country and taught and spoke to groups to try to convert them, get them to see that and see what he had learned through his personal experience.